Story number 67. God would not be mocked. There was a new age TikToker named Marcus Hibbs. He was famous for his thorough dance moves. Behind closed doors, he often mocked God, which is a very, very dangerous, which is very, very dangerous. Mocking God is so dangerous that it is safer to jump off a cliff than it is to mock God. Marcus often did this behind closed doors because he knew that if he mocked God on social media, then there would be mass boycotts of his TikTok platform from those who hold to conservative values. One day, Marcus reached a new milestone on TikTok as he reached 5 million followers. He celebrated this by dining at a fancy steakhouse, and then, after a Christian man handed him a gospel tract on his way to the steakhouse, he claimed that he didn't need God, and then placed the gospel tract on a park bench. As this encounter was at a park, at the steakhouse, Marcus enjoyed a dry-aged filet mignon with a side of foie gras and some caviar. Marcus Hibbs is a very wealthy TikToker who drives around in a Lamborghini car. He enjoyed his fancy meal with a very fancy aged red wine. On the next day, Marcus Hibbs went grocery shopping at Erewhon, and he filmed himself doing so just to brag about it. Later that day, he was filled with so much pride that he went into an open field and then mocked God. All he did was brag about how he got all of the riches that he has and everything, and then made fun of the Christians who lived in poverty. And then he made such horrific comments about God. Just as Marcus was in the middle of doing this, he was struck by lightning, just before it started to rain. The thunderstorm literally began with a prideful TikToker getting struck by lightning for mocking God. Marcus also had no idea that a Christian man who lives on the farm that's across the street from the empty field was filming him doing this. The Christian man filmed it from his open living room window. The name of that Christian man is John Travis. When John saw the TikToker get struck by lightning, the first verse that came to mind is Galatians 6:7, which says, "Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." And Marcus went to the hospital since he was struck by lightning. Fortunately, he survived. In the hospital, he was thinking about the gospel tracts that he was handed a day before. Then he came to the Lord for salvation, and he got soundly saved. After this, Marcus had the wonderful feeling of a huge weight being lifted off of him. There was a relief that came from inside, and it was like he received a new heart. Because of this, Marcus didn't care if his platform went under, because he planned on deleting it. Then, when Marcus got out of the hospital, he took his platform down, and then created a new platform just to share his testimony. When he shared his testimony, a lot of people loved listening to his testimony. And his testimony also led more people to the Lord. And because of what happened to Marcus before he got saved, a lot of people learned that mocking God is very dangerous. Marcus concluded his testimony with saying that it is safer to jump off a cliff than it is to mock God. Marcus began searching for a solid church to attend, but he had to leave 4 churches due to heresy. Of these 4 heretical churches, one had a female pastor, 2 of them preached the prosperity gospel, and then one of them was a Methodist church. In the 5th time, he finally found a church with sound doctrine, which is an Anglican church that is pastored by John Travis. Pastor Travis was thrilled to see Marcus attend his church, since when he saw Marcus mocking God, he started filming the video to show people how mocking God is extremely dangerous. At the end of the service, Marcus was able to share his testimony in church, and the entire congregation loved it. Then, 4 years later, Marcus wrote a book called It's Safer to Jump Off a Cliff Than It Is to Mock God. The book was profound, and people loved the book, and it was recommended by many pastors and ministers who have sound doctrine.